Wow, thank you so much. Everything said and done, ladies and gentlemen. This is Friday, of course, Entertainment Friday. But this time around, we're speaking about something very particular. Theatre is life and art is life. Ends towards theatre, and of course we are speaking about many artists, many actors are molded from the roots of theatre, and of course due to this fact we found it better to have this discussion in the clear manner and in the best way possible. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, there are so many things to talk about as far as the country is concerned. And of course, I believe the country also is theatrical because there's so many things that are said today and there's so many things that are happening day in, day out. But just to take you on the loop of what is happening, remember, there was a conversation on the speech that His Excellency, the President of the Republic, William Samoei Ruto made. And of course, Ruto eyes to sovereign funds to deliver 5 trillion shillings worth projects. Of course, he also was forced to halt his speech as MPs break into chants. What is the story talking about? If you looked at this speech, or if you take a listen to this speech that Ruto made, in his address, the president insisted that the country has made commendable progress over the past 3 years, but is still performing below its true weight, urging the country to abandon what he called a culture of small thinking and ordinary expectations. He also said that the shift of a vision to sell to a story to tell, reflecting on the Kenya's 62-year journey of struggles, hardship, triumphs, and milestones. Key elements in this speech, of course, the president was in the middle of giving his State of the Nation address as requested constitutionally. Above all, many Kenyans are anticipated for the greater weight that will come with this address, minding the fact that there is so much struggle and economic struggle that the country is undergoing with. And of course, to get you on the loop of what is that, economic crisis is still looming right in the Republic as many youths are struggling to get the ends meet. All right, during his address, the president insisted that Kenya has made commendable progress. I reflected deeply on the long road we have traveled as a nation. From his reflection came one truth. We have made commendable progress, but Kenya is still below its true weight. So where will we get to the point where we are saying to Kofiti? Where will we get to a point that we say, enyewe uchumi haitatulemaza tena? How do we make sure that the same strategies that have been made by the government are making sense to the Republic? Remember, of course, in our daily or weekly emphasis on the bunge la wenyeji, we are still talking about mwenyeji bado analia. When will we get to a point that Kenya is still embracing change and in the better way possible? We're coming to ensure that no Kenyan is suffering right here in the Republic. It is a couple of days, that is 1 month ahead, to ingia 2026. How will we address 2026 coming January? Ile wait ya January nini? We make sure that hakuna msi anasafa, and of course we are starting a new year in this best way possible. Wanasema January inakujanga na mambo yake, but how are we sure that 2026 haitakuwa ngori sana? Remember, as we head to 2026, we'll be getting to the bottom line of the general elections coming 2027. Many Kenyans are anticipating to select a leader or to choose a leader that will transform the country in the best way possible. It is Friday, but all in all, tukishapambana na hali ya wiki, we are expecting to now just align these things in the concept or in the context of entertainment. And that is why art, kwa sababu ni life, make sure that we are having the solemn unity and the grace that it takes. And that is why ukipiga tu hizi narrations, ukipiga hizi art, there is a way that your heart aligns. And that is why we are saying theatre is life. Joining us, of course, are two able gentlemen who will be helping us to understand the divided ends on theatre, and of course, how does theatre mold actors or artists in these roots. Of course, as we begin the conversation, remember, as in other places in the world, the first theatrical performance in Kenya grew out of ritualistic, spiritual, or cultural music, dance, and narrative. It all was sprouted from Gweyo or Sigweya, a type of mourning elegy the Luo people of Kenya used to extol the virtues of the deceased while perpetuating the continuity of life beyond the mere flesh. All right. Or the war dances of the Gikuyu, such as the Kibate dance, or the Adumu dance of the Maasai, and Luhya's vigorous shaking of their backs. In Is Isi, an enactment of power, the politics performance space, author Ngugi wa Thiong'o writes about the role of theatre in pre-colonial Kenya. And he says, if before the emergence of the state, the domain of culture embodied the desirable and the undesirable in the realm of values, this was expressed through performances, and performances were made in theatre. Of course, may his soul rest in peace, Ngugi wa Thiong'o. All said and done, 19 minutes past 8 a.m. Karibuni sana. We had interacted with you before, so this is your time, of course, to shine with those narrations.
Okay, so one night in the smoky heart of a catch, the second wife to the great chief, Oderogokni of Yimbo, a baby was born. It was about 30 seasons before the grass-necking metal road of Jorochere, the white people reached the battering market of Kisumu. The baby held so lastly, on his first grip of acrid air, that the chief, strolling around unconcernedly, as he befitted his station in manhood, thought with satisfaction, another rock for my sling, by which he meant another son. Actually, he had already covered himself in considerable glory by searing 7 sons. However, this time, he was wrong, because for the first time ever, he was the father of a daughter, a Koko.
Of course, later he'll be heard saying with words of wisdom that a homestead without daughters is like a spring without a source. Thank you so much, lovely tie this morning. Wewe unakumbuka gani, narration gani ilikubamba sana?
Actually, I was not based more on narration.
And theater,
Stage works, eh?
All right, cheza kama wewe.
I was not a narrator, actually.
You're a performer.
I'm a performer.
Aya, tupe monologue moja.
Okay. There's this book that depicts the true color of the nation, what is happening. That's why we're saying art. Basically, being an actor, you are like a seer.
Indeed.
See what is happening and what will happen. Let me take you back to this book, Kigogo. Kigogo, remember time of politics?
Indeed.
The riots time. Remember where Mzee Kengas came and said, okay, Mzee, wale vijana wako sokoni, wamerudi sokoni tena. Then Majoka says, watupieni vitoza machozi, na muazime kabisa. Sawa? So you get there's another event whereby was it a birthday? Yeah, people were supposed to be there. Then he came. It comes the watu wako wapi? They are told watu wako sokoni. On hearing, people are singing in the streets. So that's why I say art depicts what's happening in the society.
Indeed. Of course, you've been in theatre, and you've performed a couple of activities in theatre. And because speaking about that right now, there's so much weight towards that, and even in understanding the concept on theatre, we'll get back, of course, to you as well. And Kiongozi hapa, you just give us a glimpse on what is your thought. How do you think theatre molds performers or actors in these spaces? And of course, wale wasi wanoma sana in acting in these spaces, wengi wamekuwa molded from theatre. Of course, the late Papa Shirandula as well, if you remember him. These people are molded from theatre. And of course, if you're seeing young people are coming also in, inamaanisha manze theatre yezi dedi. There's a time there was a debate that film inakam as a center stage, so it means hakuna haja twende watu waanze kwenda kuwatch vitu sione tu kwa Showmax or kwa Netflix, they see these things, but also we'll also understand that there's a feeling in theatre. Kuona hizi vitu physically, there's that particular feeling, na sasa inamaanisha theatre haiwezi fade in the near future. So, no, Kiongozi, you performed, which book did you perform on theatre? More books?
Yeah.
All right, would you rather mention them to us?
Blossoms of the Savannah.
Indeed.
The Pearl, Kigogo.
Which one was your favorite?
Bembea Maisha. Yeah, actually Bembea Maisha.
Was your favorite?
Yeah, Bembea Maisha.
You did a role?
Yeah, sure.
Which one?
Bunju.
All right. you have some lines as well, you know?
Yeah,
But before we get now to the conversation, we're still, bado tunaendelea, ni kama tunaendelea ku curtain raise, you know? I'll give you a test. Umevaa suti na huyu anakaa kama ule jamaa ulikuwa unasema ati wanaandamana. You know? So we'll assume wewe ni muandamanaji. Si lazima iko kwa kitabu. Just being creative. You'll do this. You are a boss somewhere, and this one is not listening. Ni kama kichwa ngumu kiplani. So then you are acting like you can't listen. But this one is your boss after all. So I'd give you a chance, of course, to create, you know, an ad-lib, interacting, you know, acting. So you can identify your own story that you want. Then chizeni kama nyinyi, isn't it? We do it now. Am I? Yeah. Just your own creation.
Okay.
So sasa untajiri wewe ni someone too from mtaani. All right, create your own story out of it. So we'll start.
Okay.
It's just a theatrical set.
Okay.
Hujambo?
Sina jambo.
Uko salama?
Unaviona?
Naona uko kazini na unafanya kazi nzuri eh? Ningeonelea badala ya wewe kuchonga tu kuziweka hapa, nina mpango ambao utabadilisha maisha yako, watoto wako na jamii nzima kwa jumla.
Mpango gani? Unajua sisi tunawajua nyinyi watu mlivyo na pesa, mnatuona sisi wengine. Mnadhani sisi mnaweza tuchukulia vilivyo mnataka. Niambie mpango gani?
Wajua na rafiki zangu kule ng'ambo ambao tukiwapatia hii mali yako watatupa senti, na hizo senti zitajenga uchumi, wewe pia utafaidika. Mradi mzuri huo.
Na hivyo ndivyo mmechukua mali yote yetu mkawapa. Mnataka pia yangu iende. Ni hapa kwetu. Haiendi popote.
Sasa nikuulize.
Niulize.
Toka asubuhi mpaka saizi umeuza ngapi?
Inakuhusu.
Unapata senti upati?
Senti napata.
Lakini hayakusaidii. Masenti ya chungujiko. Paka lini? Panuka akili nikusaidie.
Wahenga walivyosema, haba na haba ujaza kibaba. Yangu haiendi popote. Yangu ni hapa.
Maskini atabaki kuwa maskini. Nasemaje? Nataka nikusaidie wewe kujenga uchumi, kujijenga wenyewe, ndivyo kujenga rasilimali za nchi.
Ila niite maskini, lakini nikipata italia. Unavyosema?
All right. Wanasema maskini akipata matako ulia mbwata. All right, sawa. Haina wasiwasi. And of course, right here on the conversation, there is so much weight in this. And there is in theater, there is English and there is Swahili. So, but the main aim is to make sure that the information is passed across. So many of us have been discussing about theater, and the first thing that comes in mind is the set text. Even as we discuss about this, there's so much set text that are coming in, including your enye ulikuwa nataja Bembea ya Maisha, na vile vile pia kuna Fathers of Nation, and there's so much that is in this set text that students are doing right now. And if you're involving us or you're joining us this morning as a student, there's so much that we learn from these amazing artists that are joining us this morning, and of course to understand the context on how this set text are building students out there. This is Eliud Ngugi, representing Eliud Ngugi from VOA, right? And this one is, of course, is Ogara Dickens that are joining us this morning. We'll give you a chance, of course, to give us an outlook of your introduction and the production that you're working from. Alafu ndio tupate hiyo mguso zaidi, sivyo? All right. They're saying, of course, in the same taste and kind, in this essay that Ngugi Thiong'o had written, across centuries, theatre has defined several prophecies of doom. First, there was the advent of radio, with the 19th century humans believed will be the end of theatre. Then came the television, with silent film era, exploits confining people to their TV screens. Later, people saw the internet was destined to strike theatre with the fatal blow. Up to this moment, there's still this competition. Let us begin the conversation. Do you think theatre is life as you introduce yourself?
Yes, theatre is life. Theatre is I would say, the backbone of life, because it reflects whatever happens in the society, whatever happens in our day-to-day activities. It's just put on stage, you give a character life, and through the character, you create a picture of what the society looks like. That's why we say theater is life. Yeah.
How best is this life described on stage?
I think life is described on stage by representing exactly what happens, because most of the set texts that you read, most of the set texts that you find, they're all a depiction of the society. There's a true, that's why we say fasihi ni kioo cha jamii. It paints exactly what happens in the society. And so once you're on stage, once you're performing in theater, it's your duty to give that character life. And life, you draw it from the experiences that you have. That's how you give the character life. Yes.
All right. Kiongozi, I'd like you, of course, to introduce yourself and give us the outlook on you being part and parcel in a production. Now, this production wants to invite theater to become life. You presented a couple of things, a couple of presentations on stage. And just as Ogarad mentioned earlier, that this is indeed life. And you as an actor, you're bringing sensation in your life on stage. Do you feel at some point, anyway, you are in the limelight of the beauty of life on stage?
Thank you very much. To clarify, I'm Emmanuel Saikwa, the marketing manager.
Amazing.
Legends. Yeah, sure. So what you said, you see, art is life. Art is what you do day to day, what we live in. It's art. So the only thing is that it has to come up, or let's say this book, I'll repeat for that book, Bembea Maisha. If you read that book, very well understand, is that it's like a community whereby you'll come get some wazee here, a family here, and let's say the community at all. So you find this family, what people are going through in life, like Bunju, for example. He's with a family of which he married a girl whereby her family was coming to his family, whereby he was getting out of his pocket to take them to school, and yet this girl is still complaining. Okay, I need some money. Money for what? Money to treat my mother. You see, I'm the only kid, I'm the only child, whereby you see, nowadays community, let's say, is suppressed the boy child,
Indeed.
whereby you see everything wants to be get from the boy child, forgetting that the girl also, Nema, is working. But the money, we don't know where it's going.
Indeed.
She only wants to suck the money from that very guy called Bunju. So that's what is happening in the community. At another time, you find that the art portray the behaviors of the community, how community take perspective or things or other partake different things in the community, how they look out for things, how they operate, how this community came into existence. That's art. Everything is art.
Indeed.
Political things. That's why I say sometimes an actor is like a seer. You see? You see things happen like, okay, it's easy for an actor to become a politician.
Indeed.
How and why? You can manipulate somebody. Yeah, yes. If you want to cry here, you will cry, and somebody might believe. That's
all right.
True. Yeah.
So if you want.
If you want,
You can do what you want. You can laugh, you can cry, you see? You can manipulate somebody's mind.
Indeed.
And that's what it's all about, politics. I'm into politics a lot, so that's why I see people talking, where unatudanganya. Yes.
Amazing.
I can just not a liar, this a liar.
All right.
Yeah.
I think because you've mentioned something that I wanted to ask later on, you know, the design and the structure of a performing artist and actor. You mentioned your Victor Sakwa. Emmanuel Sakwa. Saikwa. Nimeshika Sakwa. So Emmanuel Saikwa.
Yes.
All right. Kiongozi anasema namna gani? Because yenda alikuwa anafaa atokelezee, si ndio? So but I'll give you a chance now. as legends of art production, you've been in these spaces, and you've just mentioned here that you know, na mambo ya art, you're into these spaces. Now politics, you're into these spaces. I think I'll give you a chance, of course, to perform for us that really you're crying because you lost an election. What do you think about that? All right? Drums roll, camera, I guess. Cheza kama we. So, kamera yako ndo hii. And of course, namwambia kwanza focus na sura yako kabisa. Then we see, we feel the feeling about sometimes there is beauty of life on stage and in theater.
So, this conceding. Oh, let's not.
Wewe ni mwanasiasa na ume lose election and there is nothing you can say but just cry with lines.
Asante sana wananchi wangu, wananchi wa mji huu. Ni uchungu sana asubuhi ya leo. Tumeamka, mimi nilijua mambo iko sawa, nimefanya kila ambacho ningefanya, lakini ni uchungu sana. Nimetembea kila mahali. Wamama nyinyi, nilijua nyinyi mko na mimi, lakini sasa imeenda venye imekuwa. Pesa yangu nimetumia, nimewapatia, nimepatiana uniform. Vijana wa bodaboda nyinyi bwana, nilijua mko na mimi, lakini sasa wakati wa kuja kupiga kura napata tuko peke yetu. Ni uchungu sana, like inaniumiza. Sasa sijui, I don't know what's next. Na mimi nilikuwa nimesimama na nyinyi, kama ni stima hata kuna wengine nimeanza kuwekea. Kuna wale nimeanza kusomesha watoto. I had started already, lakini sasa mmeninyima. Wasaliti nyinyi. Nyinyi ni wasaliti. Thank you.
Ujalia, umeogopa utachoma kwa TV. Ujalia. But it's okay.
But these guys have crocodile eyes.
Yeah?
Crocodile tears.
Crocodile tears. So wanasiasa wanalia ya uongo.
Yeah, sure.
All right. It's VOA. So all of you are from Legends.
We're from Legends. Apparently, you joined me. I had forgot to tell you, but
you forgot to tell me. So that is why I was wondering. Kwani Legends walikuwa wawili. All right. So I believe, of course, VOA. What to do later on, of course, in the discussion, and definitely we'll be able to understand the concept in all this. So that means some questions I'll not ask him because I'm a marketing something. So wewe ni?
I was the stage manager. Yeah.
All right.
But in the group, all of us are thespians, all of us are actors. So you are accorded roles.
And
for example, me, I was the stage manager. He was the marketing director. We had the producer. We had the directors. But we are all actors.
All right.
Yeah.
How do you make sure, as Legends of Art, of course, you're embracing the fact that there is a need for all the actors right here to push an agenda, particular agenda that manzi, the people that are watching you, the people that are seeing you, have the feeling enyewe nyinyi mmeua?
So we have this saying in our group where we say whatever we portray in stage is what happens when a talent meets passion. You see? So we find people who are passionate about this, who are passionate about being on stage and doing their stuff, because art comes from a really deep place. Art comes from a really deep place. So once you're on stage, you make sure that you are passionate about this. Talent will come after. You will need to be obsessed about this. You need to be obsessed about portraying a certain message to the people. You need to be frustrated about what is happening around you, and you want to show that to all the people. And so we put you on stage, we give you the necessary skills and the skill set and all the requirements that are needed for you to excel in this. And so we look for young, passionate actors. Legends, we are headquartered in Kakamega. So most of the people we interact with are students from Masinde Muliro University. And so we find young, energetic people who have seen, in theater, you first see it, most of the people who have seen people on stage, they were in high school, seeing the set books and stuff. So they are passionate when coming to campus, they want to experience this, they want to live this. So we get them, and we give them the necessary skills, we empower them. We have campings just to do our rehearsals and everything. And so once we get you on stage, we don't want you to be perfect. We want you to be real.
Indeed.
We want you to be authentic. You know, there's a difference between theater and film. So, like in film, think of it, one man say, think of it as taking down a tree, in one instance with a razor blade, and in another with an axe.
Indeed.
So in theater, we are taking down a tree with an axe. We want the emotions to be raw and filtered and censored, and I think that's one of the things I love about theater. That's what we're trying to do as legends. And we are breaking out of the old adage of, you know, many of the directors we have in these theater groups, they come from a place where they don't want to change. This is how it's been working, let's continue doing it this way, and that's how they do it. But we've broken that old adage, and we are embracing new things. If you look at our performances, we utilize some of the new stuffs happening around us. We look at memes and things that can connect with the people, and we encompass all that and we embrace it, we put in our performances. And so once you watch us perform on stage, it's like you're living it with us. And we also include you in the performance. Sometimes an actor will come down there and pick you up, bring you on stage, and he calls you a certain character, he tells you perform, and you're there performing with them. So we make it an interactive session with all of the people, and I think that's what sets us apart from other theatrical groups.
All right.
Yes.
Of course, we'll come to you later on because you'll stay in the conversation. Let's malizana with Psycho, of course, in the concept of understanding theatrical lives, and you know how best do you make sure that when you're going to market these productions, when you're going to market your presentation, it will really sell out because they are here. Wanaweza wafanye vitu mambo yao tu huko nje, and umewapatia sifa kenye pale, and you're hoping that they'll do a good performance. Later on wanakuonyesha bado tujaiva sana, si ndio? All right, let's talk about this. You've been in these spaces and you've seen this artist. How do you think these artists are molded from theater? What is this thing that you feel that they pick from theater? After all, hata kama watakaa na sisi for quite some time, this will help them in their lives ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. So there's a saying that says, association creates impertension, you see? And if you do something for more than 21 days, it becomes your norm. See? So these people, we have togetherness, people love each other, and people work together. Like you work together to come up with this particular product. You have a line, I have a line, we have to complete this book. So this person from theater, he will become so resourceful, so useful to the community. Why? When you come together, great things happen. So you have the ideology of doing things together, you see? And also emotionally, how to control yourself, the society, how to handle things. You see, when reading the book, you come across very many things that happen. You see, you might be living, generally, I feel like theater changes a person, art. If you start reading these books and acting, you will not be the same person. You will be living in one character in that book, believe me or not. In all characters that we've been doing, and the costumes, you'll be living in one. You see? All right. The things you'll be doing, it will change you drastically. Like, you'll be behaving like a somebody, or you see something happening, you reflect back. Okay, how was it? How was he handling things? Yeah. So that's art. All right. Yeah. And also, if you see somebody like Cleo Malala, that was my former boss. He wrote a play that was Echoes of War. He was depicting direct from what was happening, and that's what is happening right about now. Like, things are happening each and every day. He wrote it down. He was a thespian also. Rigathi Gachagua was a thespian. Was a director somewhere. See? So that's art. Basic things, basics of life, like it takes a lot on you, like to become a thespian. You cannot just wake up from it. It needs you to accept it. You want to do it, you will do it. And it will change you a lot, a lot. It might change you positively and negatively. And somehow it has changed me negatively in some way, one way or the other, and I'll explain as to why. You see? It has changed my emotions. You see, I see people, okay, let's talk about negative parts of it. Small, that's for me, not for all people. Under your feelings, it changes your feelings.
Indeed.
Totally.
All right.
Yeah.
So, of course, I really want us to proceed with the conversation, kabisa. But of course, I'm hoping for the best. Next time, we'll have a concrete conversation in how we approach clients and bringing this artist on board to make sure that show yetu lazima isell. Sindio? Because we want to take a short break, but of course, VOA is coming also on board. That is why I had to cut you short. I'm really sorry.
It's okay.
Of course, but we'll have the same taste and conversation in the nearest future of times. Sindio? Kiongozi? Na ngoja unipigie narrations zingine kadha wa kadha. It's 45 minutes past 8 a.m. Let's take a short break. When we come back, of course, we'll be having a Voice of Art production to really understand how artists or performers are made from theatre. This is the Morning Gift Entertainment Friday.
I recall the doctor telling me that day, he said, Sarah, I'm sorry about what happened to you, but you see, life happens. You would have to learn to work with your hands, depend on your hands more.
And today, if you're going through anything that you do not understand, just call on this name, Jesus, and he will save you.
I realized I love music when I was about 7 or 8. I used to puff my cheeks and play the 12-bar blues. Like I'd walk around the house doing like.
Why do we need the Holy Spirit?
I mean, if you look at what Jesus said when he was leaving, he said he is going and that he will send the Holy Spirit as our helper.
So God knows everything since the end, from the beginning, has a plan for your life. So to find that plan for your life, you must find God. When you find God, you will know the path for your life.
Do you need a dose of hope? If so, you are in the right place. We think of ourselves around here as hope dealers, delivering truth, power, and inspiration to hearts and minds all over the world. If nothing else has worked for you, why not give the God thing a try? For it's in the presence of God that you'll find everything that you need. Amen.
Taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Lookup, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu, kwa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza liko na ria wasi wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hao sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi maisha.
Mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
Save a Life is a non-profit organization that has taken the front line in transforming lives in the entire country. So far, we have transformed life of over 100,000 people through our programs, which include medical support, youth empowerment, street family program, feeding program, and climate change. Join us today as we transform lives. As we always say, service to humanity is service to God. Save a life, transforming lives.
Welcome back. You're watching the Morning Review for Cross Entertainment Friday. Remember, on the 19th of November 2025, many men, of course, went out there, both physically and virtually, of course, making sure that their pleas are heard. And I believe, of course, my director this morning is also a very important man in the aspects of life. And of course, making sure that the emphasis of manhood is known. Yesterday, of course, we are having a chat, and the International Men's Day, IMD, is a global awareness day for many issues that men face, including abuse, homelessness, suicide, and violence. Celebrated annually on 19th of November, the objectives of celebrating the International Men's Day comes in handy and, of course, sets out all the 6 pillars of International Men's Day. It is also an occasion to celebrate boys and men's lives, achievement and contributions, in particular for their contributions to a nation, union, society, community, family, and marriage, and also child care. Later, of course, in the week, we also embrace the aspect that this was also our World Children's Day, making sure that all the children out there deserve a good life, and of course their rights also must be taken into consideration. This is also coming at a time when we are embracing the 16 days of activism and the fight against gender-based violence. We always speak about this every time that we are live, because lives matter, and there is no room for perpetrators to get their way in. It is not necessarily women that are violated, or many others that get themselves into these situations, but also it's alarming that men are also facing violence. Wanaona moto sana. And because we were celebrating men's awareness and making sure that also a man must cry, coming at a very particular strategical time, that many men out there, there is no need to keep quiet, there is no need to keep silent, and yet you're suffering. If you're a woman out there anakupiga na kuonesha noma, usikufe bwana. Come out there, speak to us, speak to counseling psychologists, and make sure that your pleas are heard. Later on, we endeavored into conversations, of course, that the struggle comes into women and the girls. Unapata so many women and so many girls wanapatana na perpetrators, na people that they've trusted, people that they know, and there is no room for these perpetrators to find their way, because akina dada ninaona ni kama kwamba hao ndio wanaumia sana. And in this points in time, we need to support our women. Tunafaa tuwasaidie na tuwashike mkono. But later on, of course, if you look online, there's been a debate that tunatetea akina mama na yet hao ndio mabatista pale nyumbani. You know, I don't know how that conversation will roll down, but all in all, there is no room for violence. So we were asking this question earlier in our conversation, that hata kama wewe ni perpetrator mdeadly aje, why rape a child? Why rape a baby? You had that story, a 6-month-old baby, and you don't do that. Hata kama ni mnoma aje. What did you see in this child? Coming at a very difficult time. I'll also give you a chance, of course, because it was a men's celebration, to tell us, do you think men must cry? As you introduce yourself, sir, of course, in the same way possible, said and done. Despite the fact that we're speaking about theater and theatrical life and understanding the emblem towards this, how will we be able to shape a society, a clear society, as we're driving art to these people, as you're saying art is life, how will we be able to shape a clear and a particular society in the same manner? No, tukiperform uko kwa stage, how do we make sure that we speak particular points to make sure that our perpetrators do not find their way in or whatsoever? We said, of course, majorly easy stories are set text in a build a life. but majorly unaona life ya wase pia ina face challenges sana. It reminds us of the book Blossoms of the Savannah, where young girls are being forced to marriage. It reminds us, of course, of the early book, The River and the Source, where you are being forced to get a husband. So, it reminds us, of course, the history of Kigogo, that there is bad governance. We can't forget Kidagaa, and of course, Bembe ya Maisha, and there's also room for other settings that are coming in. Ogara, how do you think that we should embrace conversations on men on stage? Do you think men must cry? Tulipatia Saiko nafasi. Akasema crocodile tears.
Men should definitely cry. They should be allowed to cry. Society has painted a picture that a man is this giant, this stone that should not show any emotions at all. But deep down, men are simple and fragile creatures, and occasionally we have to cry, even though we do it not on sight, not that someone should see us, but we should be allowed to cry. Because you see, society has pinned the boy child down so hard in an attempt to raise the girl child at the expense of the boy child. And so you find that many, even from early childhood, boys are told that, you should not play with dolls, you should not cry, you should not show emotion from a very young, from when you're very young. And so you grow up with that thing in you that emotions are not supposed to be shown. And it also affects you on stage because in theater, men are the ones who fail to show emotions because they don't feel like they need to. You tell a man, in this particular part, you need to cry, you need to show that you're bitter, show that you're sorrowful, but a man fails to do so because they're like, how will the world see me? How will the world see a boy child crying? And so that's something that we try to eliminate very early when we are recruiting someone in this particular industry. We tell you that it's okay to be fragile.
All right.
It's okay to show your emotions.
Perfect.
It's okay to cry.
All right.
So when you come in, just be yourself. If maybe you don't want people to see you, you can find someone, talk to them, because men are suffering. We are talking of how women are suffering, but in the shadow, in the limelight, men are really suffering out here.
Sawa, you have a good voice on Ikona Biz. I can't wait to imagine how you will cry with that voice, because you're fragile, and of course umesema men are in this position as stones, but sasa when it gets to a point that you have to cry, let me give you a chance. Kameramani Arnold, chaza kama wewe, focus kabisa. Let's see the taste in kind. You want to explain to the society that jana mke wangu alinionyesha moto sana, and inaniuma sana because
nimetoka huko, lakini naambia wanawake hapana, mimi hata sijui mbona nilioa, ndugu yangu, sijui mbona nilioa, nimetoka nikakuja na chakula, naingia kwa nyumba, napata mbona ninauliwa, mbona nimeleta sukuma, hadi tumekula sukuma, tumekula sukuma wiki mzima. Sasa mtu ananiuliza mbona sisi tumekula sukuma. Kitu ya mwisho nilisikia tu ni niko chini. Sasa hata sijui niko hospitali ama
mbona men wanalia na soap?
Ati mbona wanalia?
Mbona ulina base? All right. Pole sana. Hebu kiongozi, hebu tuone yako tafadhali kwa heshima. Amesema mlikula sukuma na yeye na mkapigwa vibaya sana. Hebu join in the conversation with a glimpse of a cry. Cameraman?
Afadhali wewe. Afadhali wewe.
Si sukuma.
Ulikuwa na ya kwenda na sukuma. Mimi sikupata na ya sukuma tena. Nilienda na story.
Poleni sana. Ni kinoma. Poleni sana. And it's so unfortunate that we're seeing men crying.
Yeah.
But how will someone cry? all right. We'll get to you, of course, to understand a man must cry, but definitely this life is brought on stage.
Yes.
And it's so clear that at some point, because I'm crying na sauti ya kike, it means this is getting to manzeni mechoka. Yeah, ile inakonga show. So this is my real voice. I'm really sorry, manzi. And men must try to, shed the tear, kupata tu ile feeling na kujirudi, sino? You're advised, of course, to speak out. If you're a man, and of course, wewe unaona ni kana kwamba wewe you're a stone. There's no room for people to see your weak points. Of course, we advise that it is better for men to cry just to find their peace. If at all there is a challenge out there, speak to people, tell them that this is the challenge that I'm facing, and of course let the challenge come to an alignment. Ladies and gentlemen, we are embarking on the conversation how actors, performing artists are molded in theatre. We have artists here. Earlier on we were speaking with Emmanuel Saiko, Sales and Marketing Manager, Legends of Art, but right about now we are joined by our able CEO, Voice of Art Production, Ngogi, to really understand how this comes in the alignment. This is the perfection of art, and art is life. Majorly, Ngogi Wadhiongo, Margaret Agola, HR Ole Colette, and many others, Pauline Kerr, mentions this thing to depict what is happening in real life situation. Aghalabu kazi duni huwa rahisi kupata na mtu yuipata mathali awe ni mshoni asiyechagua nguo. Ndivyo walivyoona Amani na Imani walipofika mtaa wa Sokomoko. Kazi ilikuwa ngumu zaidi. Kazi ambazo zingepatikana ni nyingi ambazo wengi wasingetaka kuzichagua. Amani alipata kazi angalau ya utopasi umanamba. Vile vile Imani alipata kazi ya ulezi na vile vile kushughulikia masuala ya nyumba. Vile vile kazi hizi zote zilikuwa kazi ambazo zina mshahara wa kijungujiko. It's what is happening right here in the Republic. Youths are struggling and they are not in a position to get quality jobs and jobs as well. And the crisis and employment inaonekana ni kana kwamba haishi. Earlier on when President William Ruto was making a speech, we felt this emphasis had the need to be mentioned. Voice of Art Production comes in the alignment and the week of art, and theatre is speaking life towards this. How do you think art is brought alive on theatre and on stage?
Thank you very much for that question. And on art, art is life. Just as the whatever you say that theatre is life, art is life, and is brought on stage by just being vulnerable. Here you are saying men, must they cry? Yes, they should, because while they are rehearsing, they have those scenes that they cry. And how are they comparing to life? Let's take, for example, Professor Kimani in the Fathers of Nations. The students and the actors can really depict themselves on the basis of this is a professor and these things are happening in real life, but now we are acting them on stage. Tunaona professor mzima in a layman's language akigongewa, okay? So and it is happening in life, okay? And he, at some point, he challenges the university policies, and he's being demoted, and we see that in real life. So I think art is bringing to life on stage how actors they depict and show their feelings and emotions on a certain scenes. Yes.
All right, definitely. VOA is also in the week of performing art. How do you build your cast to make sure that they bring this aspect of life on stage?
Thank you very much. So, you see, our rehearsal process is a very intense moment. And we have a saying in VOA, we always say, wake up, dress up, and show up. And this means that you need to show up, either energized or tired, either confused or confident. You need to be consistent. So that is one of the things that we teach them, being consistent, okay? If you look at our production, a bigger chunk of it, a bigger part of it, they are students, university students, okay? And it's because we have understand and we have come to realize that these students on Saturdays, where do they go? Where do they go? So, of course they go to this Dundain, right? They go to these clubs, and why don't we give them jobs on these Saturdays, all right? Yeah, kuna watu on Sundays, we are not all Catholic, we are not all Christians, right? Yes, so some of them are free on Sundays. Why don't they go and work? Okay? Yes, and they have something so that they cannot still keep on beeping their parents' phone. So consistency is one of the things that we teach them. And also another thing is humility. We also teach them how to be humble. Just being humble, because just imagine a director comes and tells you to cry, and these are men. Ni mtu mwambaye anafanya undergraduate, okay? And I feel maybe me being in University of Nairobi, me being in Kenyatta University, I have worked so hard to be here. And you telling me to cry on stage is a bit off. So being humble is one of the things that we teach them to embrace. And this is being depicted on stage. Being humble, being consistent during rehearsals, it translates to the shows.
Indeed. Ogara, as you mentioned, you are an artist, and of course, is mentioned about consistency and coming to rehearsal. Definitely, when we dive into the conversation on how actors are built on theatre, who are some of the artists that you feel manze kama si theatre sahi wangekuwa kilele cha sanaa yao?
I feel like many of the film actors that you're seeing on screen have gone through theatrical hands. Most of them, if not all, have theatrical backgrounds. From the likes of Awinja to, I don't know if you know him, he's called like Tom Tobila. There's Brenda, there's, I think it's Red Brenda or something. They've all gone to theatrical hands. And as he has said, consistency is the name of the game. It starts from that stage, that theatrical stage, where you build that character. You start learning how to portray your emotions. And so, once you enter into this, into the theater industry, you are cultivated. The thing in you that wants to be in stage is grown and molded into what it should be. And most of the, I feel like in Kenya, all of our big stars, all of the film actors have been to theater, and most of them are supporting our groups. By the way, most of our groups are funded by these people because they know what it takes to be there. They know that theater is what will take you there.
What is your worst moment in the rehearsal, despite consistency?
Let me think about that. My worst moment, I don't think, maybe forgetting lines. Sometimes you come, you are brought, we have these night rehearsals. I particularly hate those. You know, the director tells you that you should show up in their house at 8 p.m. Till morning. You are rehearsing for something that you missed so that you are going to perform tomorrow. I particularly hate those. Where's Then you are all night, your eyes, you do not shut your eyes, you're there performing lines after lines after lines. It gets to a point you're just tired. And remember, tomorrow they tell you you're traveling to, I don't know, you're going to Migori, you're going to Kurialand to perform. So you have like another 8 hours journey. It's tiresome, but it makes you tough. It makes you tough.
All right. What do you see yourself, of course, after this? Consistency, after this rehearsal, night rehearsals, you know, journeying from one point to the other, where do you think you'll rate your art?
Well, rate my art. I feel like every artist has a certain ego inside them. They always believe that they can. They always believe that this particular role, I can ace it no matter what. Comes rain or shine. But I will give me a solid 7 out of 10. I'll give me a solid 7 because I think this is my fifth year, fourth or fifth year being on stage, and I've done many roles. I've even acted as a woman in a particular role.
Wow. I wish.
And I really hope my parents won't watch this, but I have acted as a gay man in a particular role. So it's all about that robustness, that extensive in roles that builds you. You know that when you are given a certain role, you should not shy away from it.
All right.
You go and study it. You'll find me in YouTube looking at other actors. I'm like,
so you're built as a woman. All right. Gogi, you are a chief director, of course, at VOA, and making sure that say lazima waue show, lazima ikuwe fiti kabisa, lazima wapige rehearsal, just as Ogara mentions. What is one thing that you learn from these actors, despite the fact wewe uko kwa higher throne, wewe ni director? What is this thing that you're learning from them?
I'm learning that every day is a learning day. Every day is a learning day, and you don't stop learning. I'm really amazed and by how people come as amateurs, first day, first time in theater, and they turn out to be the best actors and actresses. There is this one of my cast member that alikuja kona, you see this accent, okay? So you even tell yourself, wewe utawezana kweli, unaona? But somehow they prove you wrong. There is another one who came kona issue with confidence. He's still anaangalia chini, hataki kuangalia watu. He's even shy talking to the people ambao wanaongea na wao. But along the way, unaona, these people are opening up, and they even teach you things. They can do something. Umeenda kudirect, and then hata ukimwambia fanye kitu, and then they do something, and you're like, wow, I didn't think of that.
Indeed.
So every day is a learning day. Yes.
Do you think also it allows you to remember where you came from, where you started your journey as well?
Yes, because nilipiga raundi mingi sana kwa a certain field. Yeah, they remind me where I started, and those humble beginnings, and it also shows me that they can improve, and they can always be their best.
All right, they can always improve, and of course art is improving day in, day out, and of course we learn from every other person. Just to mention about that, I keep on, making sure that me big up King Dante Max. Improve sana, and amecheza na vocal cords. Sasa hivi anaimba vizuri sana, and there is a song inaitwa I'm walking in a suit and walking. There's a song on YouTube, King Dante Max. Of course, you must check it out just to make sure that you big up entertainment, and keep on doing the good job. Yeah, pia leo naona nimengaria suti ya wasanii. Still empowering myself, but this one is artistic. I believe. Amani host nai. Looks good as well. Nice. How do I look? Of course, Dina will tell me right on social media platform. All right, let's continue the conversation. Ogara, there's so many things when it comes to humility, and there's so many things, of course, when it comes to consistency. And this one is what is building. If you watched the Pulse Awards, many performers who received awards, they mentioned about manzei hard work, consistency, nimenifikisha hapa. So fans seeing this consistency, wanaona tuko mahali, no?
Glory.
In the later few years to come, where do you see Kenya National Theatre? Where do you see theatre as a whole? Itafika wapi? Because consistency yenyewe may apply. So many productions are coming in. Juzi tu hapa ndo tulikuwa na Kid Fest, and of course it's empowering theatre as well. Where do you see theatre hapa Kenya ikiwa empowered?
I see theatre on a larger pedestal than what it is right now. Even from the Pulse Awards, as you've mentioned, majority of them, they're young people. They're young people with visions, and they want to empower this. All the adage is dying that theatre is a Western thing. There's some people who still don't believe theatre is all that. They think that right now, find a young boy who is telling their mother that they want to be an actor. they'll be told that they're bewitched or something. But we are changing that mindset, and I think in future, theater will grow to a higher pedestal. And people are building that. I believe most of these productions, we are coming together. Even now we have a conglomerate of all the productions in Kenya. And from that tells you that we have an idea, we have a vision, we want to build something. And given that nowadays we have so many writers looking for so many actors, there are scripts being written left, right, and center. People are looking for young actors to come up and showcase their talents. We even have, I'm sure if you ask the director here, we have casting calls like every other Sunday, every other Saturday. It's become just a normal Tuesday. So from that tells you that the industry is growing a lot, and people are willing and able and ready to fund in and bring in resources to build this particular industry, because they can see that in future it will be something big. Yes.
All right, something big to the best way possible. What are some of the challenges that production groups face when they are aligning theater? And of course, you're visiting the different places to make sure that mna perform kila mahali and you're making this emphasis known. What are some of the challenges nyinyi mna face?
Hapo kwa challenges. Now, productions, actually set book productions, they have a lot of challenges. One of the challenge that is not that common, but if it happens, you get the worst part of it. Let me say this, it's not in a bad note, and no one should feel tagged. But there are some teachers who decide to play rough. They can, anaweza kosa kukupea pesa, and umeenda na watu Busia. Umetoka Nairobi, umeenda na watu Busia. And then now the teacher, because maybe you know the teacher on a personal level, anakuambia will send the money tomorrow from the school account. Unafika njiani and then atumi. So that is one of the challenge. Sometimes there is some disloyalty and untrustworthy somewhere. Another thing is, sometimes you will get, there are some upcoming productions. Upcoming productions where they don't have their own shows, but they depend on established productions, and sometimes they even they get marketers. Sometimes you get these marketers, they can be your own marketer and still play you. So money is something that is a bit problematic in this industry, and not only money, also wasanii, they can also decide to be arrogant. Yes, unaweza na msanii na aseme siingi stage. He's the only Ole Kaelo in that show. He's the only Professor Kimani na amekataa kuingia stage. Now he's blackmailing you, or she's blackmailing you. That is one of the things. But I would also thank the upcoming trend of having contracts. It's making wasanii, they honor those shows. Yes, those are just some of those challenges, and there are a lot, including the bureaucracy to get these documents for a production. You know, there is no specific legal framework for owning these productions. So it's a bit hectic. Yes, running them.
All right. How do you make sure that you structure a group? Because I remember there's a time that Ministry of Education ilisema kuna groups zingine zitakuwa zinaingia shule, manake these groups zinafanya pia upotovu wa either the book ama upotovu wa wa wanafunzi. Unakuja shule lakini umebeba mambo yako, then students wants to interact with you, then you sell this to them. Ilileta ngori sana, pia nakumbuka time ya COVID ilikuwa ngori sana. How do you make sure that discipline abides? Na pia Ogara kama anaweza tuambia ndiye anaenda kupotosha watoto, we'll get to know that as well. Please Elid, mention that to us.
I think in all the not all, most of the production, and I think Ogara here in their production, because I'm well acquainted with it, is that they have make sure that when they go to schools, they don't interact with students. Not interacting in the form of maybe performing interactive performance. For example, speaking to the students on a personal level, that should not happen. You should only talk to a student when you are on stage, so that at this point you see the teachers are around. And also we also have the discipline masters or the discipline coordinators who make sure that discipline is followed to a T. Yes, and also if there is any misconduct or indiscipline, we make sure that we penalize these people. Yes.
Wakata do vibaya sana.
Either kwa pay, tujue kama wewe kwa sababu uliamua ukue indiscipline, then we make sure that we do something either on your pay and then it goes back to the production and inafanya kitu ya maana, of course. Yes.
All right. Sasa ikiwa mention story ya do you think art inalipa? Do you think theater inalipa? Na pia wewe umekatwa do sana, sio? Do you think theater inalipa?
Theater inalipo. Theater inalipo.
Inalipo ama inalipa?
Zote.
So production za kina Legend na VOA zinalipwa, lakini wasanii wanaona moto.
Zinalipwa na wasanii wanalipwa.
Exactly.
No. At the end of the day, it's all business. Mr. Day Legends, unalipwa, once you, like Legends, as you said, we have contracts. Nowadays, we have contracts. And we sign the contracts each and every term. It's not for a year, it's for each and every term. So you're given a contract. Legends wants to work with you in this particular term at this rate, which is, it can also be increased depending on your performance. We have these targets. They say that maybe if you're the best performer on that weekend, that show, they add you some money. But different groups have different flat rates when it comes to pay. And it also depends on the school that you're going to. Because the marketer will go to a school, but the marketer is the person who gets a lot of money. Because they will go to a school, they will market the school, and assuming the school is around maybe 500 students, so, and the flat rate for each book is 100 to 150 per book. So all that money, then you come back to the group, there is money that should go to savings, there is money that will pay the driver, or maybe if you have your van, by the way, Legends, we've bought one. Legends, we've bought our 16-seater. So there's money that will go to transport and fuel and the driver, and then the rest of the money will go to actors. And so actors are paid. By the way, most the actors in these theatrical productions, when you go back to their universities, I think that the ballers, they're the one, each and every weekend, they're the one bowling. They'll go. You'll find an actor who has performed the show from Thursday to Sunday, and each and every of those days he has been given maybe 1,800 shillings to 2,000 shillings. So by Monday, he has like 10,000 shillings in his pocket. So the one bowling in university.
Uko na ngapi sasa hivi mmefunga? So uko na 30,000. All right. Sasa kafanya hivyo bana.
Stronger.
Indeed. As we come to a close, of course, of the conversation, I'm told we have a very few minutes to wind up this session. Would like now to give you a chance to, because you're here, and the taste and kind, of course, the reason, the better reason, and then you tend to unaambia watu nyumbani is this selling point. You're from Legends, you're from Voice of Art Production. We'll start with Elid Ngugi. You just tell us what is Voice of Art, and what is the juice from VOA, and thereafter, of course, you'll tell us how we can interact with you.
So Voice of Art Production is basically a separate production. But it does not just stop there. It goes beyond there. It is student-centered. It is located in Kenyatta University main campus. So we don't just act set book. We tunajibamba pia. Okay. Yes, we have paid choreographers who come and teach us how to dance. Yes, I have some moves, but I'll not dance today. Yes, and we have a lot of things to help the student not to be idle, and also to make sure that the student earns a little amount. And also, voice over production helps you to gain the confidence. So, of course, najua a lot of graduates, they graduate, but after graduating, haezi ongelesha mtu face to face, haezi ongea on an audience. I always say this, and I always tell my cast members this, that if you can stand before an audience, you can stand before the world. Exactly.
We're sorry.
Yes, so you can. For those who want to support us, reach to us, encourage us, motivate, and even pray to us, whatever, they can reach to us through Voice of Art Production, anywhere, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, everywhere. Yes.
All right, Legends of Art.
Legends of Art.
All right.
Legends of Art, it's also another theater group, but one of a kind. You know, I have to defend my own. So, but Legends was born out of frustration that thespians are suffering in the industry, and we wanted to meet a particular threshold and standard of educating and entertaining students in schools, and broadening our scope to even larger stages like the Kenya National Theatre and other provided stages. So Legends, I can say one thing that sets us apart is our willingness to go the extra mile. Legends, we just don't do this out of wanting to gain some money, but we do this from a point of we want to show people who and what we are. We are doing, as I told you earlier, we are what people see when passion meets talent.
Indeed.
So we are in that scope of giving people not only what they want, but what they need.
Indeed.
We are what they need.
All right.
So in social media platforms, I think we're on all social media platforms as Legends of Arts. I think in TikTok we have the biggest account, Legends of Art Production, YouTube, Instagram. We have even numbers, you can reach us to WhatsApp platform.
But inagonga tu hapo, sindo? Haya, tumebakisha dakika 3 tumalize. Sasa ile point. You of course you're a narrator, very few lines, ndio tumalize session hii itakuwa fiti sana. We'll start of course with Ogara. You just mentioned some few lines narration, then Eliud, alafu tutakuwa tumemaliza hii story.
Okay. So let me do a piece from Blossoms of the Savannah.
Twende kazi.
Tayo stood in the shadows by the window, her back to the room. From a vantage position of the third floor where the building was located, she had a bird's eye view of the sprawling town. Beneath her, down at the courtyard, she could see her father moving and fussing. He was organizing and directing in obvious shortness of temper the loading of 2 10-ton lorries. He was escalating violently, apparently reprimanding the loaders for being too slow and inept in carrying out the task before them. Tayo knew her father very well. He was not the kind of man who cared for his well-laid work plans, delayed or disrupted. She noticed that he had become even more belligerent ever since they had learned that he had been retrenched, and now they were forced to vacate this house and relocate to a rural area they had left many years ago. And even though Tayo could not hear what her father was saying, she felt a mild but quite genuine twinge of sympathy for the poor fellas down there, for she knew the sting of her father's tongue.
This is from a CBC book. Bridges Without Rivers. The story is The Long Walk. So after Sally left Camilo had no one to share his plight with. But then he made a great discovery, the evening walk. You see, the evening walk made something to him. It cleared his mind and made something different to him, the evening walk. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much Ogara, thank you so much Eliud for making time. Na ikumbuka hadithi ya Monsoon Majununi ambaye alihusika kwenye kidagaa kimemwozea Riwaya iliyoandikwa na Ken Walieula Walibora, na ikumbuka wakati huu ambapo Majununi alitengeneza nyumba na vile vile alianza na hema, akatengeneza nyumba ya vyumba vinne, na basi baadaye akatengeneza kasri. Lakini licha ya hayo yote na jitihada hizi zote, mpenziwe Michelle akakataa kuwafikiana na majumba haya. Mwanzo akasema hawezi ishi kwenye kibanda, na pili akaweza kusema hawezi ishi kwa nyumba iliyoko na vyumba vingi zaidi. Lakini atafutaye achoki, na akichoka kesha pata. Alright. Your beauty is my weakness. Urembo wako ni udhaifu wangu. See you soon.